to Man Cap Podcast, episode 5. Sean, man, we getting up there, man. We gonna make it time one of these days, man. But yeah, most definitely. We just wanted to highlight some great brothers tonight, man. As a part of our Black Father series, for the next 3 episodes, we're going to highlight Black fathers in three distinct situations. One is tonight is going to be married fathers, the challenges of being married and fatherhood, and then we're going to our single fathers, and then we're going to go to our unique fathers who are stepfathers, but we'll find a different word for that one. But brothers that's doing another man's job, So, but yeah, so. I just wanted to. We want to do this, man. We want to definitely, give these two brothers the opportunity to talk to us tonight, man, about their challenges, of being married and being a father at the same time, and also, man, doing something that we don't do as men enough, and we don't talk about marriage in a great way, in a good way. I know me and Sean have talked about that many times. About it's a lot of times where marriage is talked about in a negative light, like it's hard and all that stuff, and it is hard, most definitely, but at the same time, we have to also celebrate it, because that's going to be the uplifting of the black family. So to introduce our guests tonight, man, two of these brothers we both known since college. Mr. Tyrai Thomas, who's a father of 3, but actually both of y'all are father of 3, isn't that correct?
Yep.
Okay. Father's 3. Okay. Ty, how long you been married, man?
Man, I'm making 15 years in September.
Whoa.
15 years.
Man, congratulations, big time.
Thank you, sir.
Clint?
17 years this November.
Congratulations, big time. Yeah, man, that's what's up. That's what's up, man. So both of these brothers, man, have been role models for both of us. In their lives of being married and being a father. So, it was only right that we bring these two brothers on to talk about some things that we want to talk about tonight. So just like me and Deshaun, we always like to start off our podcast with a mental health check. So I'm gonna go around the room, man. We gonna kick it into everybody 1 through 5, man. How you doing this week, man? Deshaun, how you doing, big time?
I'm alright this week. Workload been crazy. Outside of that, everything is cool. Just kind of looking forward to this weekend, getting out, doing something with the kids.
Okay. Ty, how's it doing, man? How's the mental health, man? How things going with you, big time?
Mental health is good. You said 1 through 5. I said 4. I'm also ready for the weekend. And I'm also looking forward to next week. We got a little family vacation to Miami. We caught a $49 flight from Southwest, so we're gonna take advantage.
Okay.
Have a good time.
Okay. All right. That's what's up, brother. Clinton, man, how's your mental health going on, man? How things going with you, man?
Things are pretty decent. Mental health check right now. I'm about a 3, to be real honest, and got a lot of things going on. A lot of things in the pipeline. A lot of things that's just going on that's requiring a lot of my mental and emotional currency. As you can see right now, I'm in my wife's office, because this is where she does business. She works from home as a what do you call it? Kindergarten readiness. She gets your kids ready for kindergarten. It's a preschool enrichment program. And so she does that, and so that's where I'm calling you guys from.
Yeah, she's definitely great, man. She got my son ready, my son Cam.
Yeah, Cam. I should be doing better. I just got a promotion. I was
Congratulations, brother.
getting more money, and they said, okay, we want to give you more money. And so from that aspect, things are great.
Okay. Well, as everybody knows, I've been doing great, man. I'm doing great. Over this past week, I would say I've been about a 4.5, I'd say. because I'm still promoting my book, Man Lessons, which is something near and dear to my heart, man. It really is something I feel like is going to be a great thing for young men to read and listen to. Um, I've been putting a lot of business things in the pipeline as well. Looking to do some real estate myself. Just getting things together, man. Just trying to get it together and trying to get my life together. My business life together. Got my workload is pretty steady. It's pretty steady. So. But yeah, so I'm actually looking to get a promotion as well. Clint in the next few weeks as well. Negotiate some more money. So take that one from Clinton. Take that one. Take what I'm saying. So yeah,
I
but
got a killer letter for you, fam. Killer
hey,
letter.
hey, forward it over, man. Forward it over. But yeah, so man, just hop off into it, man. Let's get into it, you guys. So what? My first question is this. What's beautiful? So a lot of times, like I said before, we hear black men in conversation talking about, especially older black men, talk about marriage in a negative light. Can you shed some positives of marriage, and being married to a black woman? 'Cause both of y'all are married to black women, so let's first kudos that one, you know. Because Chris Broussard, he said that the most revolutionary thing that a black man can do is marry a black woman and have black kids. So I feel like that's one of the best things that we can do. That's one of the smart. That's one of the easy things we can do. If we're gonna build our lives. So can you guys talk about what it means to be happily married? And the positives of marriage. Clinton.
Absolutely. Um, it's gonna sound cliche. First, I want to address that one. The first thing you said about the most revolutionary thing a black man can do is marry a black woman. Um, I, I I once heard a man say that you tell a lot about a man's politics by whom he's married
Ooh.
to, right?
Mm.
Um, so, and y'all can read into that what you will, but I think y'all know what I'm getting at.
Mm-hmm.
I married my best friend. She holds me down right now. She's a little under the weather. Um, she holds me down. She loves me in a way that no one else has ever um, exhibited love, or she's helped me understand love in a more meaningful way. Um, but y'all know I'm kind of there's times when I'm not the easiest person to get along with. So, I definitely can say I married a saint.
Mm-hmm.
One of the first things I told her before we got married is that if you rock with me, this won't be an easy rodeo. But I will be loyal. You will have a partner and a best friend for life with me, but it won't be easy because that's just how I'm set up. And when I tell you I believe God sent it to me, and she's made specifically for me, because she knows how to rock with those punches. She knows how to rock with difficult Clint, and she knows how to speak to him and bring him back. And it's not always immediate, but it he always pierces the armor. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be half the man I am had it not been for my wife. My wife is my everything. She's my favorite person in the world. And I know people go, my kid is my favorite, my mom. No, my wife is my favorite person. Bottom line, she's been there when I had to sleep on floors, and she slept on the floor with me, and she didn't have to. She had to. Um,
Mm-hmm.
she's always been down for me. So because of that, I said I need to marry this girl, and we've been rocking this thing out since 2002, married in 2004.
That's what's up, man. So Ty, let's hear what you got to say about Miss Erica, man, because Clint went in on Monique, bro.
I see.
Erica's dope, by the way.
What you
Erica's
say?
dope.
She's built for Ty.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, well, Clint, you got some brownie points coming whenever Monique hear this, so I gotta step my game up as well. But let's see. Kind of like what Clint said. Some of this might sound cliche, but it is true, right? So the my wife gives me stability, right? She's I hate to say the opposites attract, but she's wild sometimes, and sometimes I'm mellow, and we balance each other out. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I think of marriage as two businesses merging together, right? So I think we're able to make these businesses work with communication. We're able to grow. Got a family that's growing, that's doing well, and I think we balance each other out. We both have the same ideas, similar background. Um, yeah, so it's been working out, and I think that's some of the good things of marriage. Um, and it's just a good balance between the two of us that make it work.
Hey, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. You know, yeah, you guys definitely role models when it comes to marriage and being fathers, man. Because I definitely look at you guys as as role models, and because like I said, I'm the type of person where I look at I try to emulate myself against people that I know are good people, and that at the same time I also try to make sure that you know um, I learn from other people's mistakes rather than and as well as my own. So I'm trying. So I'm definitely learning. And that's a great thing. Because Clinton has definitely been a counsel for me. Throughout my marriage. So it's a great thing, man. It's a great thing. I'm glad we're positively talking about marriage right now because a lot of times, man, it don't seem like that's the case. A lot of times, people want to, like I said before, a lot of people who have, been through situations, they kind of like tell you that it's bad and it's wrong and or you shouldn't do it or get your bread up first, all that stuff, and you know and and they speak negatively about it when it's probably one of the most beautiful things in the world, man. Because I definitely know that from my marriage. So my question to you is, with you, both of you guys having sons, Clint, you have an older son, and Ty, you have a son that's about 10 years old. Am I correct?
Yes, he turns 11 in a couple days.
All right, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. But so with everything going on with the Black Lives Matter movement and police shootings, everything like that, how are you handling, you know, dealing with that in essence having a black son? Because I know I've had some sleepless nights about my own son, and my son's only 8 years old. So
Truthfully, I would say it scares me, right? I want to shield him as much as I can from this, but I also want him to know that it's out there, right? But it scares me to think that might be my son out there one day, experiencing something bad. Lord forgive, but man, it scares me, and I'm gonna do everything I can to prevent that from happening. No matter what it costs, I'm gonna prevent it from happening. But it does frighten me.
Um, so yeah, I 100% agree. My dilemma with my son was, I have to say was, he was raised in the suburbs, didn't have a lot of black friends, and so my son had a very unrealistic view of what it means to be a black man or a black young man in this country. He did not have that understanding. He literally was the kid that would walk up to an officer and start touching him and stuff like, excuse me, sir," and you can't touch cops. That's assault, right?
yeah, exactly.
That's the type of kid that I had. However, some change occurred in him. I want to say between the ages of 18 and 22. Um, and he understands. He gets it. Um, and we did have some talk about what it means to be a black man. and how he's going to have to forge his own identity. But the rules of the game and the rules of engagement are the same today as they were 60 years ago, as they were 60 years before that. They're the same.
Mm-hmm.
And I try to help him understand that. Um, and I know that he does understand that now. He's had some life experience, and now he gets it.
Mm-hmm. D. Warren, man, how do you feel about it, man? I know your son is only like what 4? He's 4.
He's 5. He turned 5 in February.
That's right. Yeah, my son, my daughter is 5. She turned 5 in May. She turned May 17th. Yep. So, and I remember.
It's a little different. All of us kind of grew up in a culture to where we was raised to kind of know how to navigate with police and things like that. We grew up in that. Crazy thing is, we all got kids who they like one generation removed from growing up how we did. So it's gonna be a little different from them. You know what I'm saying? It may take them a little later on in life to know. By the time I was 10, 12 years old, I already knew. Damn, here go the police. Sit back. Make sure you got your seatbelt on. Don't say this. Yes sir, no sir, the whole 9. My kids, they gonna grow up a little more carefree. You know what I'm saying? All of our kids, it's gonna be a little different for them. So we're gonna have to definitely have those talks. You want them to be aware, but you don't want them to be fearful. You know what I'm saying? That's a big thing. But in the middle of that, I gotta say this. I gotta get this out. Amongst the cats that I knew, Ty was my first like role model for raising kids. Straight up. Like he was the first cat I looked at. Like, oh, Ty got some kids. Like I'm getting ready to have a daughter. You know, I'm getting ready to have a child. Like, okay, cool. He was the first person I thought to mentally, like on some more like, okay, I'm gonna try to raise my kids the way Ty be doing it. Like I gotta get that out there because you don't understand. Like sometimes you be going through just living your life, doing your thing, and you don't notice how people be watching you and how you will inspire somebody. So I just had to go on and say that right now. But to get back to what we was talking about, it's kind of scary, but at the same time, like you said, like I was trying to say, try to teach your kids not to be fearful. You give them the information, and also, I'm gonna be a little honest. My kids gonna grow up a little different because their daddy got a little bit of paper. I'm a lawyer. You know what I'm saying? It's cool, son, and don't do a crazy move.
Okay.
It's a little different.
Okay.
Hey, D. Warren, what side of town you from, man?
The east side.
You from the east side?
For sure.
Chris, you from the east side too, right?
Mm-hmm.
So did your parents and your like my grandmother used to tell me, be careful, don't go across 8 Mile.
I was just about to say that. Man, my pops was a stickler for that, man. He, as soon as we crossed 8 Mile, he'd be like 10 to 2, put seatbelt on. Like, cause like if we ever was in Dearborn, man, he was like, the Dearborn don't want us out here. Livonia, Dearborn, man, like, you know. And South used to be like that a little bit. You know, South used to be like that a little bit until we migrated out there. But, you know, yeah. You know, especially in the east suburbs, man, like Warren or Sterling Heights, man, you was getting pulled over for anything, man. And you know, back then we had you know, we ain't have much paper, so our cars was a little suspicious, quote unquote. So you know, so we might have a busted tail light or something, or our turn signal ain't working something, and then you know they was like they'd be on us. So yeah, but
hey, I got a quick story I want to tell you guys, and I'm sorry, Ty, when you hear this story.
Oh.
Ty doesn't know this, but I'm gonna tell him. So one time, uh, me and Jania's mother, and y'all know who that is. We were driving. Well, she was driving. I was asleep in the car, and we were driving from Olivet back to Detroit. Can you guys hear me? Because it seems like it keeps freezing.
Yeah.
We're driving from Olivet back to Detroit. We get pulled over, and the cop uh, asked her for license and registration, and she's like, "Well, it's his car." And I wake up to lights being shined in the car, and they said, "What's your name?" And I go, "Huh? What? Tyrai."
Come on. Come on. Come on.
I
Oh,
was trying to think of somebody who didn't have
oh, wow.
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 so let me finish the story. But then I was like, you know what? That's not the truth. My name is Clinton. Here's my ID. Here's my driver's license. Blah 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 blah. And he pulled me out of the car, threw me on the hood, and did the or whatever. And then he let us go with a warning. But I'm sorry, Ty. My bad.
Hey, Clint, that's what I wanted to talk about too. Like us being from the east, you knew not to go across 8 Mile, but even way up in Olivet, they had their rules. Like I remember when we was there, we used to know like, hey yo, 2 to a car, cool. 3 to a car, man, y'all pushing.
Oh, yeah. That's 100%. That's 100%. Yeah, that's 100%. Yeah.
And you get in the car, make sure you take your fitted off. Cause they used to, you know what I'm saying, they could see that on small, because they know how we used to rock during them times. Everybody had a fitted on. So it's stuff like our kids, they not going, unless we tell them, they not going to know until later because they not coming up in the same conditions we did.
But that's growth, man. That's definitely growth. We've ascended ourselves in culture a little bit, and that we set up our next generation not to have to go through the things that we went through. But I just want to hop off into a topic that I've been really thinking about lately, and just leadership. Can you guys talk to me about just how you lead your families? Like because the one thing that I talked about in the book was being a servant leader. Being a servant leader, someone that serves his family, someone that leads with empathy, someone that leads with credibility, that leads with authenticity, and all these. And so my question is what are some of the principles that you guys live by in leading your families?
Hey, before y'all answer, I want to put something else on that. And when y'all answer this question, also answer, did anybody, before you get married, did anybody explain to you that, hey, once you get married, once y'all have kids, you are the leader, you responsible for women, these children, this Dalmatian you got, Ty, you responsible, you know what I'm saying? Did anybody actually verbally explain that to you? Well, go ahead.
And let's see. All right, I go first. First, Deshaun. Man, I'm honored that you got some inspiration from me and my little ones as one of them tries to come in here. But man, I'm honored, and hopefully I was able to paint a good picture or, you know, set the path. To your first question, no, no one told me. I didn't have that type of direction that um, what it is, and I didn't have that, right. I think I just maybe from some of the marriages that I did see, I took bits and pieces from them, but no one actually set me to the side and told me that. As far as how I lead my family, I can't think of the term, but this is one that I like to think of. Right, from when my mom and dad were married, of course there were a lot of happy times. Right, I grew up in a good home. They divorced when I was like 5 or 6. Saw both sides, but when they were married, for some reason, I can always remember the bad times when they had an argument. I can remember that. I can paint the picture right now. So something that I think of myself, I don't want my kids to see that side. I want them to always I'm trying to think how to explain it. I want them to see the good side of marriage. Of course, we're gonna have our communication, but I want them to always have a good picture of what marriage should be. Not that my family didn't, my mom and dad didn't show that, but I just remember some of the bad times, and I just want them to remember the good times. So of course I can't think of the phrase for that, but I want to set the right example for them to follow. If I say something, if I say I'm gonna do something, I want them to see that I do it. I want them to see me acting a certain way in public, and treating family a certain way, so they can have that same standard to follow. If that makes sense.
Oh yeah, most definitely. The one thing that I'm always thinking about is making sure I'm giving flowers, and making sure that I let people know that they were inspirational for me. And the same thing goes to Sean. The same thing goes to me as well, Ty, man. You've definitely been an inspiration to me as well, man. You know what I'm saying? That's why you're here, and that's why we're talking to you tonight. Yeah, but like I said before, man, honestly, like even with that, like my father passed away when I was 25 years old, and I was grown. But the one thing that I wasn't able to have the conversation with him was to get the good, the bad, and the ugly of marriage, and I didn't get it, from my father, the person I trusted the most as my best friend, as my father, as my confidant. But at the same time, I wish I would have gotten it, because I don't know if I'm not able to get it from my mother. I don't know why, but my mom is my mom. She wants to be my mom. She wants to nurture me and protect me, and that's it. So, but yeah. So where did you learn? Where did you learn how to be a leader? From where did you learn how to be a leader? Was it just an innate thing, or was it just because a lot of times people say leaders are made and leaders aren't born, they're made? Was there any books you read, anything like that, or?
All right. Well, no books that I read. So I guess you could say by trial and error. Of course, I had some. I did have some father figures in my life as well, outside of my father. My grandfather, he was married until the day he passed, and you can see how the way he treated his wife, the things that he did, how how he kept it interesting. So I had some of that to base it on off of as well. And then you also learn by trial, right? So in the beginning of marriage, maybe there wasn't as much communication as there should have been. So you learn to adapt more and communicate more. So I would say it's a combination of the two, from father figures and then from just trial and error, or experience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I mean, most definitely. Because I feel like this. Even in my marriage, where I had to learn on the fly.
No one explained marriage to me. I didn't have many role models. I didn't grow up with my father. Um, I I didn't see it. What I did know is the things that I saw, I knew they weren't balanced. I was raised by women, and there was a perspective that I was given, and I understood from a very early age that it wasn't a balanced equation, right? So I kind of sought out different father figures. My barber early on was one of my father figures for about 10 years. And then when I got to high school, I had a father figure and a mentor who was actually responsible for me coming to Olivet. Um, I didn't take a SAT or I can't think of the other one.
ACT.
I didn't take that either. Just knew him, and I was like, look, I got two options here. I'm gonna be out here in these streets selling drugs, or I'm gonna go away to college and try and make something of myself. And by this time, I already had a kid, which was Lil Clinton, was Clinton Jr. And I knew I didn't want to be on the street selling drugs. So I was fortunate enough to get to college, and the point that I'm making is I didn't have the role model or the modeling for what marriage is, um, but I knew what I didn't want. I knew what I didn't want to repeat. I knew what I didn't want my kids to go through, and I wanted them to have a more balanced and holistic kind of life, right?
Mm-hmm.
From the masculine and the feminine, so that we can have a balanced upbringing, right? Um, the one thing that I think is most important that I learned um, is what works for me may not work for you, right? We're not homogenous. So the way we move, the way I move in my relationship, the way that I feel like I lead, there is a thing we do. Both my wife and I practice servant leadership, but I don't believe in the this old patriarchal idea that because of marriage, I have to lead my family by myself. I believe that we both have to be leaders, right? Ty alluded to this being a business. She's a business, he's a business, and then there's a merger, right? So I believe that we both have to run this well-oiled machine together. Without her, this doesn't work well. Without me, this doesn't work well. So we have to be together and rock out that way. And this works for us. Again, it may work differently for you guys. Oh, right. And
Looks like we're going out again, but always keep the lines of
we're always keeping the lines of communication open. We talk ad nauseum. So, yeah, man. I didn't have role models. I want to make sure that I could create some form of a role model for my children, so that my girls, I have two of them, understood how a man is supposed to treat a woman. So that my son understood how he should treat his woman, but likewise how they should be treated.
That's powerful. That's powerful.
Clint, let me ask you a question, bro. Me personally, because I'm in a similar situation to where I felt like I didn't have a whole bunch of examples of it was. I got like, brothers, I got little cousins. I tell them business. Like, I make sure that they fully equipped before they, they get to a place where they in the position I'm in. I don't want them to have that same feeling of, damn, why ain't nobody tell me this?
Right.
How serious is it for you to pass on that information and to walk other cats, younger than you, through this whole thing that you're doing right?
Bro, am I still frozen? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I don't know what's going on with the internet. My apologies. Listen, I have literally counseled a lot of brothers up under me, in the frat, not in the frat. I try to give them the wins. I try to give them the losses.
Mm-hmm.
if I can't steer them. Can you guys hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I try to
I hear you.
Falls. Right? But more often than not, a lot of them don't listen and end up in certain situations, right? Now, what I will say is, Chris listens. Me and Chris have had many of conversations.
Time out.
You listen to me, bro.
You lying.
Don't listen.
Don't listen, bro. Niggas don't listen, bro. Or maybe it's me.
I'm with you,
Niggas
Deshaun.
listen to me, bro.
He don't listen.
Oh, here y'all go, man. Y'all jumping on me.
Thank you.
Yeah, y'all jumping on my head.
I got you, Chris.
Ears.
Thank you.
The nigga don't listen.
I got you, man.
All right. Anyway.
Clint made some valid points. You can't sugarcoat it. You got to tell them the goods and bads.
Wins, losses.
Yeah, if they take it, it's up to them to take it. But at least you doing your part as a mentor or a man or a friend, and telling them the truth.
one of the things he touches on in the book is you do kind of have to be that within your family. You do have to that that rock. And like going back to one thing he said, you don't necessarily have to be the leader per se. You and your wife can lead at the same time, but as a you have to be a sense of normacy, like something steady. Because naturally, a woman's emotions is gonna go up and down, and control you. It's gonna throw the whole house off. So that's taught me when I was going with it.
And that's
Sam,
why
who
I
told
say
you?
my wife is built for me. Because I mean, as a woman, she can be emotional,
Mm-hmm.
but generally, nah, right? And so, um, we often arrive at the same conclusion at different times, right? She may see something, and her vision may say, X, but my vision may be saying X, but it's saying X either way sooner or a little bit after hers. But we eventually come to the same conclusion, right? Um, and she often brings that up to me. She says, I told you this very thing. We agree on it. We didn't even have to argue.
Right.
We're in the same place.
Hey, Clint, let me ask you this: how long did it take y'all to get to that point?
Um, so that's an interesting question. I think it took some years, right? It took some years, and we're still working on it, right? It's always a work in progress.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but a lot of the miscommunication was probably my fault because of the idea of coming into a marriage traditionally. I'm supposed to be this. I'm supposed to be that. I'm supposed to do this. You should listen to me. I know everything. You know nothing. That's the kind of energy I think I might have been exuding. I'm
Mm-hmm.
probably guilty of it sometimes still today. Um, but I'm very introspective, and the one thing I've learned that I believe has helped our marriage is to recognize my own bullshit. Excuse me, I don't know if y'all want to
Yeah,
step
we
in.
do. We catch it. That's cool.
All right, to recognize my own bullshit before I go and talk about her bullshit, right? And to deal with that bullshit and to apologize and say, you know what, I recognize that I said something wrong, or I did this thing, and I shouldn't have said that, or I shouldn't have done this, and you know what, you don't deserve that. You deserve me at my best, and I'm sorry that you didn't get that.
Hey, that's a blessing to feel comfortable enough to to express that to your partner.
It's hard though. It was hard though in the beginning. It took a while because we don't like to be that vulnerable, isn't it? We're taught. I don't know if
Exactly.
we're actually taught this or if we absorb this because of our surroundings. But it's hard to be introspective and say, I'm wrong.
To own your shit. Own your shit. Yep.
But I have a lot of practice at it now. In 17 years, and I mean, we've been together 19, right? June, in June will be 19 years.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a lot of practice at being wrong and apologizing now. So it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, and I feel like that vulnerability is also it also can be a strength as well. And I think that we as men have to be able to recognize it and be able to be vulnerable sometimes because leading through vulnerability, letting people know that, hey, like, I'm not the smartest, I'm not the wisest, but I'm the person that's going to try the hardest for us, you know. And then also understanding your frailties. I'm not great with money. I'm not great with money. But at the same time, I would expect my
We
partner
know
to be
because you
able.
like to dress like Russell Westbrook.
Oh, oh,
Break it
Joe.
down, Clint.
What
Break it
you got
down.
anything?
ain't gonna. Yeah, you ain't gonna rag on me on our platform, brother. You know what I'm saying? But
I
then I
want
miss
everybody to
it.
know this dude be wearing the brim hats,
With the flower
Hey,
the
shirt. With
Gucci
the
man
flower shirt.
bag.
but I be fly. I'm fly. I'm fly.
Hey, I did
Fly.
like that rose shirt. That rose shirt was nice.
Thank you,
I
sir.
give it to
Thank
you.
you. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
I ain't like the hat like Clint said, but the shirt, I can see you rocking that shirt.
I'm just messing. Now, Chris, you know what? I tell you what, real talk. Chris developed his style by the time he was a junior. He had completely revamped who he was
Mm-hmm.
and gave no two shits about it. We used to clown him, but he had his own style. Can't even front.
Hey, just had to be me, man. I felt like I was I was wearing a costume. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I'm from the hood, but I'm not a hood brother. You know what I'm saying? So I had to find things that would make me feel comfortable in my own skin. But get just man, and at the same time, So another thing, so another question I wanted to ask. Um, with the proliferation of social media and in the in the way we're seeing women now portrayed in a lot of ways where it's almost like that they don't want to be led. Are you gonna raise your daughters to be independent, or like because this is a very touchy because I have two daughters. You know, Ty, you got two daughters. Clint, you got two daughters. Deshaun, you got one daughter. But I'm saying, are you going to because I feel like we've I feel like in a lot of ways like men we may have messed up a generation of women in a lot of ways because in a lot of ways we taught our daughters to be overly independent where they don't need a man.
I
So
disagree. The statistics don't support that.
what do you mean?
I don't believe that. I think that there's a narrative that um, there was an absence of men present in you know what? Let me hold off on that. Let me think about how I want to answer that question or respond to that.
Okay.
Let me think about that for a moment.
Okay. Deshaun, you got any thoughts? I think.
I got a daughter. She is she's strong minded. As for me, I'm going to teach her to be sufficient.
Mm,
That's one thing. But I have to be an example to show her what to look at. So it's one thing for what I'm gonna tell her. It's another thing for what I'm gonna show her. I tell
That's
her to
it.
be sufficient within herself, but at the same time, she sees when there's some damn spiders in the house, we killing them. When there's some shit on top of the shelf, believe it or not, y'all, I am the tallest person in this house. So get all the shit off the top of the shelf
Just
and
step ladders
everything.
everywhere.
yeah, I was just saying that.
No footstools in my house, bro. She sees me playing that role, so she's gonna know I can change my tire. But if it's some dude in my face trying to get my time, that's gonna be his job. You know what I'm saying?
That's
There you
modeling,
go.
So
right?
That's
that's where
modeling.
I'm at with it.
That's
Yeah,
what's up.
that's
I
modeling.
I agree with Deshaun there. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna set an example of what she should look for, but I also think in this marriage, my wife does a good job of setting what a lady should be like as well, right? So she has an example of a lady to follow,
There you go.
and maybe that's what's missing in the world. But in our household, she does a good job of showing how a lady should act. how they should handle themselves. She does a good job. I'm here to reinforce it and show her what she should look for. But I do have a confession. All right.
Mm-hmm.
I know you said if there's a spider in the house that you kill it, Deshaun. Not in my house. My
Oh
wife
man.
is a spider. I'm not scared, but I let her kill the spiders.
Oh.
Ty,
Hey, hey, Ty.
Yeah, yeah,
This is my wife. Spider,
yeah.
she'll kill it with her hand. I'm like, she's nasty.
Yeah, that's
hey,
something I do. Yeah, I feel you, man. I feel you. That's what's up, man. You know, and you guys hit the nail on the head correctly, like, and exactly how I thought you guys were gonna answer that question. You know, so just final thoughts, man. Final thoughts. What what advice would you give young men when it comes to marriage, Clinton?
I would say, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Go, Clinton.
All right. I would say take your time. There is no rush to get married. Um, but also when you find the one, don't waste time, right?
Mm,
Um, there is a push, I think, or at least for my generation, there was a push to, do things in a certain order. You graduate high school, you go to college, and you get a job, and you find a wife, and then you get married, and then you have kids. And I just think do what works for you. Um, but uh, when you find the one, don't waste time because that could a good wife elevates you. A good wife puts you in position. A good wife helps you to see who you can be. Um,
mm.
so don't waste time.
Ty.
Second, I had a chance to jot down some ideas, and you said, and just to make sure the question was, what would I tell?
A young man. What advice would you give a young man about marriage?
All right. Well, first, you're not in it alone, right? You got somebody, a partner with you, so you're not alone. So you got to be able to talk, communicate. You got to express your concerns because neither one of you guys are a mind reader, right? If something is not right, don't automatically think that that person should know, right? So in my marriage, a couple things. I said, hey, you need to do this, or we need to do this. I had to communicate it because they didn't know how she didn't know how I was feeling. But enjoy it, take the ups and downs, and fight for it. Would be some of the some of the, and have someone that you can talk to, right? So have a have someone that you can confide. Not I would hate to say confide in, but someone you can bounce some ideas off of, vent to, or talk to. Of course, you want to have your wife that you can do that with, but it's good to have someone on the outside as well. I know there's a lot there. My bad.
As Key Warren sips his banana cognac.
But yeah, I mean, hey, I appreciate you guys, man, because this is definitely a great talk, man, and it definitely gave us some perspective on marriage and also being a father. And this is what the Black Father series is going to be all about. Our next episode, which is going to be episode 6, is going to be we're going to speak to our single fathers, the fathers that aren't with the mothers of their children, but they're still great fathers, and we're definitely collecting the list of people that we want to talk to about that one. Whoa, why am I frozen? But yeah. Oh my goodness, everything
Hey,
stopped.
Hey, we got to get on this mental health kick, though, man. We got to talk
Oh
about
yeah.
that.
Oh, most
yeah,
definitely.
let's do it.
That is
That's coming up, man. It's coming up. Most definitely, it's coming up, man. It's coming up. It looks like everything stopped, man.
well, while you get that, hey, Chris and Deshaun, I know y'all said that you saw some of my younger days with my son. But man, it's a two-way street, man. I see some of your posts that you guys post with your kids and your family, and that just reminds me, hey, I need to make sure that I stay in touch with my family and stay engaged with my family as well. So it's a two-way street. I might have started the road, but it's a two-way street to this day.
I appreciate you, brother. Definitely, definitely. And
Sure.
how we're gonna end this, man, is how we started, man. Thank you so much for everybody coming through. This is the Man Camp Podcast. This is episode 5. Thanks. Have a great day, man. Love y'all. Peace.